I'm going to start with the first poem in the book. Her Gypsy Clothes. I used to wonder why my grandmother stared so hard into the fire, even after I found the cardboard box at the back of the coal house and drew out of it flame, chili, emerald, sequin sparks, embroidered mirrors orbiting wraparound skirts, shawls trimmed with seed pearls, silver bangles like Saturn's rings. Her embarrassment when she caught me trying them on and explained they were her gypsy rags to tell fortunes at fairs. Only at her funeral did the story come out, her birth in Rajasthan to her father's maid. I think now of my great-grandmother dancing for her master's guests, grateful to have her baby brought up as his wife's. I think of the coal grease, black dust, and memories that burn slow as anthracite. How some colors don't fade, however deep they're buried. How even a dowry of rags, smoldering in a box, can flare in a winter grate. And how to own the country of her birth, a woman might have to wear a fire. So my grandmother used to tell me stories about a tiger that came into her tent when she was a baby and didn't eat her. So I'd only seen tigers in zoos. So I went to India and saw lots of wild tigers, but soon realized that they are very threatened by poaching. In the forest. In the forest, I saw a man sewing an owl's eyes shut. The owl was on a leash, and the man pulled it to make it flutter and attract songbirds to mob his decoy. He told me how much he could earn from warblers in cages. I wondered which was worse, the blind eagle owl or thrushes glued to sticks. The deeper I went, the more I saw. What is worse, asked the sky, a girl with sewn eyes or glued lips? The deeper I walked, the harder I looked, although it was dark and there were no stars. 4,000 rupees for a barn owl to be sacrificed for Diwali to light up the dark with dark. I went even deeper into the core, patrolled by forest guards and tuskers, but it was night and the bulls were chained. I saw another man who led me to a cave, which he called his vault, and there was a tigress inside, giving birth to striped gold. I said my eyes are stitched and my lips sealed, and he placed coins in my hand, said it was jungle currency, and I knew then I was holding the eyes of cubs. I said to the poacher, I'm not from here, I do not judge, but the eyes muled in my hands. So I ran through every coppice and every clearing and looked at the moon whose eye was sewn shut. I passed the firefly tree and the flame of the forest, and I swear there were leopards dangling from their boughs. I came to the crocodile bark tree and the ghost tree as the first rays peered through night's lids, but the sun couldn't look at what I had seen. The sun couldn't wake the sambar, chital, antelope, or gazelle. So I was the only witness of those luminous herds with fire trees on the altars of their brows, all sacrificed for good fortune Goddess Lakshmi, forgive them as you ride your owls. And that was long ago now, but still I'm running through that forest, watched by the moon eye and the sun eye. But now it's a forest of peeling red bark, of leopards with paws sawn off, stuffed into pockets for luck, while in the tantric market, a trader slices a tiger, giving it new stripes. One stripe for a lakh of rupees. I run through thickets of dust trees until I reach the realm of the sloth bear, where a cub clings to his electrocuted mother. And here I find a man laughing as he hooks a cane for the cub's nose and teaches him to dance. The night is black as bear fur, its muzzle bleeding after eating honey baited with explosives. How many rupees for the galaxies in a gallbladder? I run more slowly now, afraid of traps for my ankles, snares for my neck. You could say my flight is a jerky dance, the stars my audience with shielded eyes. Because the ringmaster has arrived in heaven, with his flaming hoops, archangels must leap through. Where are the angels with fangs that sever windpipes? Angel fangs around a black hole's neck, bought in the black market. Goddess Durga, who rides the sky tiger, forgive us. You could say the stick that makes my head jerk is a bad branch from the tree of life, but I swear there's a tree of good, if only I could find it for the cub that survived, whose claws are new moons that light up my path. And even though it's day now, the forest has drawn blinds over itself. I climb a hide, and as I climb, the trees grow higher. Banyan boles pierce the ladder and hiss like snakes with skeleton leaves. I pass choirs of langurs with silver fur and ebony faces, their echoing barks getting louder. But even up here, vendors are shouting 10 crore for a white tiger, 5 crore for a black leopard. Here, where the blacksmith forges leg traps in the night market. Here too there are trees with scratch marks, but no tigers. Unless you count the meat without skin, all bones pulled out. For just one rib of bark can buy a cow. Let me tell you what I saw. Let me whisper it. I saw an archangel with its paw mangled in a trap for what seemed an aeon. I saw a man waiting for it to weaken while he ate his meal on a teak leaf. And when he had finished, I saw him whittle a stick, and when the archangel was too weak to move, he jabbed his stick into its mouth so no one would hear its music. I saw him pick up a branch and batter the spine, and I knew then that the branch was from the tree of secrets. For how else did he know where creatures of light walk on our earth, their footprints that glow on the path, saying, this way to my kingdom? Then the man got out his skinning knife. Half an hour it took him to flay the hide intact with its arabesques of bulldozed gardens. If it were possible to remake the creature from its pelt, I would do it. But the man sold the pelt because his family was hungry. And I vowed then never to eat again. I descended the spiral ladder, and with bamboo thorns and plant fiber, I sewed my eyes shut. And with resin from the tree of love, I glued my lips. So flashing throughout the collection, as there is through the jungle, are incredible birds and deer. And this one, the green bee eater, offers some hope. Green bee eater. More precious than all the gems of Jaipur, the green bee eater. If you see one singing, tree, 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 with his space black bill and rufous cap, his robes all shades of emerald, like treetops glimpsed from a plain, his blue cheeks, black eye mask, and the delicate tail streamer like a plume of smoke. You might dream of the forests that once clothed our flying planet. And perhaps his singing is a spell to call our forests back, tree by tree by tree. So my grandmother really was the person who brought me up, and I lived with her for 9 years of my childhood, even 2 years as a baby. But when I was 13, I had to go back to my mother. And this poem is about that. And the jungle owlet, which I saw in Bandhavgarh National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Jungle owlet. What you didn't tell me is how poachers cut off their claws and break bones in one wing so they can't perch or fly, that their eyes are sold as pujas, boiled in broth so herdsmen can see in the dark. You didn't say how sorcerers keep their skulls, their barred feathers, their livers and hearts, or how they drink their blood and tears. You didn't mention how a tortured owl will speak like a young girl to reveal where treasure is buried. My kind granny who took me in when I was homeless, who sat down this very evening after I had gone to bed and wrote mother a stern letter telling her that she must take me back. It doesn't matter where, Paris, Wales, Timbuktu, no more excuses, you are tired. And here your slanted writing is almost illegible. But what I think it says is that you cannot look after a teenage owlet. You use your favorite pet name. I've never spoken of this before. I call it up my gullet from the pit at the bottom of my 13th year, along with my crushed bones, my stolen blood, and I spit it out through my torn off beak in language that passes for human. So I'm going to finish with another hopeful bird poem, and this is the Indian paradise flycatcher, who has these incredible 2 white streamers to his tail. Indian paradise flycatcher. Your tail 2 comets of ice crystals. Your face a night blue sheen as if dipped in starlight. Your wings snowdrifts from a past climate. You descend in a heat haze, and when you dip into a pool, you're a pen sky writing on a mirror, a flick of flakes melting, a jet's contrails telling us about a sun fueled by frost. Too fast for my eye, your tail streamers weave an alphabet to cool the earth. You dinosaur relic, little white flag from the Holocene.